Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to perform a Pareto analysis with Power BI step by step using real sales data. So let's start with the idea behind it, the Pareto principle, or we also say 80-20 rule, which basically says around 80% of results come from 20% of causes. And in business terms, we can say something like 80% of sales often come from 20% of customers, or let's say 80% of profit comes from 20% of product. So it's a simple but powerful concept. Instead of teaching everyone equally, Pareto helps us zoom in on a few things that make the biggest impact. And that's exactly what we will visualize inside Power BI to see which country or which product or which revenue or sorry which customers are like giving us the 80% results. So yeah, so that's something that we will build in this video. I will share the data and CBX file with you as well, and step by step show you how to build uh, the simple DAX to calculate Pareto analysis. So let me jump on to the data set and the simple PBX file where we will build it step by step. So this is the data set I have. Like it's a pretty straightforward and simple data set. If we look into it, it's we have orders here, we have sales information, and then customer related information as well. So this is something that we will use to do Pareto analysis. And it's all like based on the measure that we will build here. So for that, let me just create a simple table where I can just, do this analysis. So I'll just say, let's say enter data. And here I will create a table named by year to categorize all by years into, one table just for the good, good organization of the data. So I have measures here. I will create all my measures here. For example, let's say we want to look at all the data by sales. So I will calculate the total sales, which is nothing but simple, the sum of the sales column here, this one. So this will give me the total sales and let me convert that into a dollar and round off it to zero. After that, I will create a Pareto analysis measure, and it will be based on 2 to 3 measures. I will be step by step, adding them in a variable, and will also step by step show you how to do that. So let's say I say Pareto by country. I basically want to get percentage. I can write it here this way. So firstly, I will create a variable, and I'll say it's something like total sales, where I will use the calculate function, and I will calculate the total sales, and then I will use all selected just to remove the current row or filter context, because this is something that we will be adding in a vision. So we want to remove all row or filter context here. So that's why I'm applying this thing here. So firstly, we want to calculate by country. So I will use country here, right? And this is how we will get the total sales because we are removing all the filter context, right? So after that, I will create another variable and I can say something like current, where I will just, call the total sales, and this will have the row or visual context applied on it. So it will give me the sales amount of any specific country within a region. So that's something that we need here. And after that, I will create another column. I can say something like sum table, where I can use the summarize function to create a temporary table here, which will be helpful for me to create tags. So, sorry, create Pareto analysis data. So what I will do here is firstly, I will remove all the filter context here on the data set that I have here, right? After that, what I will do is I would group by it by country because I want to have my Pareto analysis by country first. After that, I want to return a column named total sales. This is nothing but a total sales that we just calculated in our total sales by year. So this is another table. And after that, I would calculate the cumulative sum. By the way, I will step by step show you what this formula is giving me. So I will, let's say, do a sum x, and then I will apply a filter on the temporary table that we just created, this one. And then I would say something like if total sales is greater than equal to the current sales that we have here, then it would give me the total sales, right? And it will basically, calculate the sum of the total sales. So let me just tell you what this formula is doing. So firstly, we have calculated the total sales by removing all the filter context from the visuals, and then we calculated the current sales, which will have like all the sales in the current filter context. So for example, if we have US in the country, then it will give me the total sales of the US because the current filter US will be applied on that, right? And after that, I need another temporary table. This is why I use summarize function here. It will give me a table. And in that, I'm first removing all the filter context and then giving the table name. And after that, I want to group it by country and calculate the total sales by each country. So now that I have this table, I can use this table to calculate a cumulative sum because I need a cumulative sum in Pareto analysis. So here, what I'm doing is, so for example, let's say if currently I'm looking at the data of France, let's say. So let's say 1.5 are is the sale of France. So we have other countries like US and UK where sales are let's say 1.6, 1.7. So it's just checking if the current sale is greater than equal to the sales that we have in the like filter, then it's just calculating all the sales that have greater than or equal to the current filter. So that's what it's doing to calculate the cumulative sum. And now that I have all these variables available, I can just return the divide of to calculate the percentage. I think I need to close bracket here. Let me just do that. I need to divide the cumulative sum by the total sales that we have here. This would give me the percentage that we need here. So let me just enter this formula, hit this formula. So let me change its type to percentage and I'm rounding off to zero. Okay, so let me also show you this formula as well to give you a better understanding, but this is returning. So I'm just creating, let's say, a new table. I would need to go here and then I will say new table. And if I just copy paste this here, this would give me the all the countries data by just a second. Okay, I actually didn't add the name of the table. That was a mistake. So I would need to say something like sales by country. Okay, so this is what it's returning. And here, the filter that I'm applying to calculate the cumulative is, let's say, if the sales in the current context is greater than equal to the, like if the total sales, let's say, it's giving me the, total sales for the summarized table that I'm using here. And we are saying like if the current sales is, for example, less than, and or if you reverse it, you can say something like, I want to you know, just a second, let me move here. So, for example, I'm looking at the sales of Spain, for example, in the visualization. So, what it will do is it will look at all the countries where the sales is greater than equal to Spain. So, it will be USA, it will be no, and not any other country. So, we have USA here, whose sale is greater than equal to Spain. So, it will just add the USA and Spain to calculate a cumulative sum. That's what this formula is doing. Just for the illustration purposes, let me just delete this one. So we have a PA table here. And now that I have the Pareto uh, measure ready, so what I can do is I can just create a visualization that I just showed you earlier. So let me add, sorry, this visualization here. And on the x-axis, I can add the country because I am calculating the Pareto principle by country. And sales by country, so I will add country in the x-axis and total sales in the y-axis. This would give me the total, sales by country. And then on a line, I can add the Pareto measure that I just calculated. And we can beautify it further. For example, I can turn on the data labels here as well. This would give me the percentage, and I can just remove this one to only show the data labels of the line. And other than that, I can apply some other customizations. For example, I can a bit increase the value and bold the numbers as well, so it can be a bit readable, right? Okay, it's even getting bold. Okay, so it's calculating by sales. And for example, if I want to do it by Pareto, so this would do this way. Okay, so let me just bold this one as well. Great. So here, as you guys can see, we have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries, which are giving us around 80% of the profit. And all these other countries are, giving only the 20% of the profit. So we should focus on these countries and expand our businesses there as well, or we can focus on the weaker side as well if we want. So we have this is like the Pareto by country, and on similar way we can create that based on multiple dimensions. So since we have calculated the DAX here, we just need to what we need to do is just change the uh, dimension here. So let me just copy this one and create a new measure. I would call it, let's say, by product. And here I just need to change the product because now we are calculating the Pareto percentage by product. We have product code here. So let me just copy this and paste it here as well. Rest of the things are same because we want to calculate Pareto by sales as well. So this would give me the Pareto percentage by product. Great. So let me just click here and add that into here I will remove the country and I will add the product code. This would give me the product code, and then I would add the by product percentage here. Let me change the let me change this into a percentage. Sorry, I just changed this one. Let me remove this. Okay. I actually had to change the data type of this one. So we have percentage. Let me round it off. Okay, so now we have the different products, and if we see a cutoff value here, so around these products are giving us 80% of the revenue. I think it's covering almost every products. We have very less products left. So it's something like not very useful here, but it all depends upon your business use case and your data. If you should try to look at if there are any like major people or major customers or major, countries which are, giving us 80% of or higher number of profits, right? So let me also copy this one, but before that, I would change its title to product because here we calculated the Pareto by product. And let's say we can also calculate the Pareto by customers because we also want to see how many customers do we have who are like responsible for 80% of our revenue or our sales. So for that, the things are pretty same that we did previously. I just need to copy this buyer, and after that, I can create a new buyer where I can say something like Pareto by customers. And here I would just need to change the column to customer name, and then I will do the same right here as well. Rest of the things would be same. Okay, so now we have the measure ready. Let me just quickly change its type as well. I think let me just add first here. So what I will do is I will add the customer here, and then I will change the Pareto percentage to the one that I calculated for the customer. And let me change its type to a percentage so it looks good. Okay, so now we have like it didn't round off. Let me just do that again quickly. Okay, so we have around these customers, right, who are responsible for 80% of our revenue. So I can also, apply some customization, something like I can filter it out on the basis of, for example, if I say, let's say, I want to apply a rule where I can say something like, if it's greater than equal to 0 and it's less than, let's say, 80%, then I would color it as blue. And then let's say if it's greater than 80% and then less than equal to 100%, then I will color it this way. So it would also, you know, a bit hide all those like percentages that are greater than 80% because we are only looking at the customers that are responsible for 80% of our profit. So cutoff becomes around this much. So yeah, that's something that we can do here. So in short, like a simple yet incredible powerful way to find where your business impacts really comes from. You can apply this to, sales, marketing campaigns, sport tickets, you name it, anywhere you want to separate the vital few from the trivial many. So yeah, that's it. If you find this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more Power BI and analytics content.